welcome. Uh, Season finale, Championship Sunday episode. We're here, we're live. Uh, Before we kick this epic episode off, let's do a quick admin for the show, as we always do. If you're watching this, please like, share, subscribe. At the bottom, Footy Fantasy, YouTube, and all our socials. If you like audio podcast, the audio version will be out before tomorrow morning. Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Pod. We also put out short clips later in the week, Tuesday, to be specific, for people who who just like to see short clips. So yeah, we're going to dive right in. Championship Sunday. Let's introduce all the guests. We'll start with Ola. Second place, Ola. Nice. Thanks for joining us.
Double domestic champions, Ola. Double domestic champion, Ola.
My fellow United fan, sixth place, back in Motel 6. Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Ovi, top four is in our hands, Top four is in our hands, Arsenal fan. Ovi, until they realize that the hands are actually, very small hands. They can't hold it.
Just growing pains. Glad to be here.
Growing pains. Okay.
We're chasing Chelsea in our hands. Also, they were dreaming of third, not just even fourth, though. They were dreaming of third.
4 games in hand.
Last but not least, Chelsea fan, Dada. Thanks for joining. It is famous trust the process. I have to zoom into this one. Trusting the process, so for people part of the problem, they can see that. They understand the joke of trusting the process of Arteta. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just dive in.
And just a quick disclaimer, my lawyer has advised that due to the fact that people's faces are on this shirt, you can't take a screen grab of this shirt. Just from a legal perspective, you can just enjoy the troll, but no screen grabs.
Okay, yes, no screen grabs. Let's just dive right in. Title race, right? What a dramatic day. Man City are champions, of course, of England. Liverpool came second, came down to fine margins. I'll let Ola take it away since I tried to get the Man City fan on, but yeah, she's celebrating at Etihad, so she'll join us another time.
Fair play. They deserve that celebration. Big congrats to them. They showed champion spirit, basically, because if you have 2 goals down, 15 minutes to go, and you score 3 goals in 5 minutes, yeah, you deserve to win the league, because at that point it was it was slipping out of their hands.
Like Stevie G.
Yeah, Stevie G even tried. I didn't even think Villa could even go 2 goals up there. I was thinking they'll get smashed. In my mind, I just thought, well, there's no way they're winning that match. Going 2 goals up was just even, it was irrelevant at that point, because Liverpool were not even winning at that point. We were still drawing. Liverpool were still drawing at that point when they went 2-0 down. So they were still going to win it, even if at that point they were still going to win it. But for me, the problem was Wolves. Wolves are the problem, because like 2 seasons ago, when this same situation happened, they gave us a very tough game. We beat them 2-0, but that game they created a lot of chances. And today they could have beaten Liverpool. They had chances, the first saves. But at the end of it, City just deserve it. They win by 1 point, but 1 point is still something. At the end of the day, you win it. Either way, they won it by a point, but they won it, and they won it deservedly. Because I know they had a big gap on Liverpool at the beginning, but I think it was 14 points at a stage. But there was no point in which you could think Liverpool would go ahead of them on the final day. There was no point I was thinking it's going to happen. It was the only time when you could think, okay, if Liverpool could have scored the second goal early, maybe that would have helped. But there was no stage where Liverpool were even ahead on the table today. that just shows how crazy it was. Even though it was tense, there was no stage Liverpool was actually top of the league today, even when they were 2-0 down. So, what do you say, City? Congrats to them. They deserve to win it. I saw Pep was crying. Yeah, I can see why he was crying. It was emotional. Yeah, no, not trolling. Not trolling. That's an emotional way to win the league. So I can understand why he was crying at the end of it, because I'm sure he's not won the league title that way before. Maybe it's just it's so dramatic. Oh, it was so dramatic. But congrats to them.
Okay. Anybody else have any other thoughts about it? Ovi, thoughts about the final day drama?
I mean, it was more than I expected. I thought it was going to be a quiet day. I was only hoping for maybe a Norwich win or something, but it quickly shaped up that was not even the interesting contest. It was either going to be the top of the table or the relegation scrap between Leeds and Burnley. So obviously, it was fun to watch Man City do it again. They've done this, I think, it was under Mancini that they won on the last day. The last came back 2 late goals from Aguero and somebody else.
10 years
So,
ago.
I mean, good for them. They are the deserved champions, no doubt. Liverpool tried. Liverpool has been a monster of a club the last 3-5 years, but still, they only have 1 league title. So it shows you how competitive it is these days. But I mean, kudos to them, kudos to Man City. For Pep, he needed to win this because that would have just been too bad if they lost this too. So well played. I'm happy Leeds are staying. They play positive football. Burnley has tried 10 years or so. We thank you. See you in another 10 years. Good. So good. I'm very happy for Leeds. It was unfortunate that they got into where they were, but they've showed some fighting spirit to come back, playing decent football, and were able to stay up. So good to them. Unfortunately for Arsenal,
We'll get there.
today wasn't.
We get there.
We'll get there. We have a top for review. How did we get there? No.
Yeah, it wasn't decisive today. The decisive days were the last 2 game days, and they didn't perform. So, like I said earlier, growing pains. I'm not too downbeat. I was downbeat for 1 day. I've moved on.
Hold on with the Arsenal review. I'm going to get to Arsenal.
Okay. But overall, yeah, good last day, no doubt about it. Congrats to Man City.
Daniel, any thoughts about last day?
No thoughts. Both my rivals went down to the wire. No thoughts. Whoever won, I would have been happy. The other person lost. So for me, I'm indifferent.
Oh really?
I would have hoped both of them lost today, honestly, and City still somehow won. But it is what it is.
I was Team City. I was cheering Gundogan's goal in my living room, running up and down. Texting that I was like, oh, that's suspect. I'm like, yeah, please, I don't care.
I mean,
you win. I don't care.
You have a special relationship with Pep, so that's
no, that 20 league title.
It is that.
It is exactly that.
It is that.
Get 20 league titles. No,
I think it's the Pep factor, man.
Yeah, he has a special relationship with Pep.
Oh, we just scored. I was like, we?
Yes. Today. Like what? I don't care.
Okay, that's weird. I mean, I don't think I would ever sell if Arsenal and Spurs were gunning for the title, which would never happen. I don't think I would support anyone.
Right, even in the Champions League,
a plane will crash in the stadium, nobody dies, and then they cancel the league, and they all walk away sad. That's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in realistic.
That gets it. He's a certified hater. I mean, look at the shirt.
I believe in realistic situations. So for me, the less I is Man City, right? We can always blame the money, the washing, everything. Liverpool wins 20 league titles, they're gonna win the quadruple. What? I'm disappointed for the summer. Nah, we don't want that. Come on now. I'm serious. Nobody wants that. Dada, thoughts? Final day? Any final day thoughts?
No, honestly, I was really watching the Chelsea game when Aston Villa were up 2-0 for a second. I was like, okay, it looks like Liverpool might nick this. But at that point in time, as Ola said, Liverpool was 1-1. So, what would have been nice was if they did a little back and forth where Liverpool will go up, City will go up, but they didn't do that. So, it is what it is. So it's weird, so one of the problems with Liverpool and City is they're just one of those teams that before they blow the whistle, they know the outcome of every game. So it's kind of like they know, okay, we're going to go win this game. So even though they're down 5-0, 98th minute, they already know they're going to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. It's like at work, right? You're going to get paid every 2 weeks. No matter what happens, even if you nap, no matter what happens, you're going to get paid every 2 weeks. That's how Liverpool and City are. So when I was looking at that game, I was like, yeah, Liverpool's probably going to win. City's going to win at some point. There's no drama here. But yeah, I mean, it made it for an exciting final day for sure. And from the relegation side, I'm kind of happy to comment of his point. I'm glad Leeds stayed up because I felt like they had some injury problems. Burnley, on the other end, regression to the mean. They were supposed to be relegated, like 3 seasons ago? So, yeah. So, pretty much it was a surprising, unsurprising end to the season, pretty much.
Yeah, nice way to put it.
Fair enough. I guess for me, the drama there was when it went 2-0 up because I was so sure, like me and offline, I talked to some people like, yes, City will win. No matter what happens, they will win. When it went to 2-0, I was like, ooh, okay, why are they getting nervous? Like, what's going on there? But immediately they scored that one that early. Like, I think the first goal was from Gundogan. That was what, 70 minutes, 71 minutes?
76 minutes, I think.
76 minutes. I was like, okay, there's too much time. And it's Villa, right? Villa are not really a good defensive team. They've never been a good defensive team, right? They've never been a good defensive team. So I know that I just knew they were going to cave, and just the momentum of City just piling on pressure. I knew they were
home as well.
Is that what?
At home as well.
Correct, at home as well too. So I knew like they were just going to cave. But good substitution though by Pep. I mean, for bringing Gundogan and just trusting him, attacking the box. The guy has been clutch for them, and apparently he's leaving. Gundogan is leaving at the end of the season. So I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's leaving.
It's not confirmed yet. Not now. Just one year to his contract. He might sign a new contract.
Well, okay, that's fair. But I mean, all City fans, like, that's what they've been saying. I think Yannicka said it. All of them have been saying that he's leaving. So we'll see. At the bottom of the table, for sure. Like, yeah, Burnley, when they fired Sean Dyche, I think they made a big mistake, obviously. And even though I was a big fan of Sean Dyche and his type of football, like that I said, regression to the mean, but the guy had done miracles. And there was a likelihood he probably would kept them up. But it looked like, they got results, right? Millie fired Sean Dyche, that new guy that came, they won like 2 or 3 out of 5, 6 games.
He did.
Mike
Jackson, yeah. They looked like, and then Ben Mee all of a sudden became player captain or whatever it was, player manager. And it looked for a little bit, but hey, I'm glad they got relegated because I'm tired of this their football. I'm tired of their style of football, so I'm glad.
Can I jump in on the relegation? Because I didn't get to talk about relegation bits. The relegation bits, let's see how this court case that this Burnley and Leeds are bringing up against Everton, let's see how it goes. Because they have a valid case. Now, I don't know if Premier League will be strong enough to actually dock Everton points. But Everton have definitely broken the rules, and they've been doing it for a couple of years. But, I know Sheffield United went to court one time when they got relegated. I think West Ham had to pay Sheffield United like 20-something million because West Ham broke rules, and Sheffield United had to break them and pay them compensation. So maybe that's how it will go. Maybe Everton will just pay off Burnley and Leeds. But I think Burnley and Leeds have a leg step stand on. Well, Leeds don't care anymore anyway. Leeds have stayed up, but Burnley will drag it to court. They'll drag that case to court. I'm not sad to see them go. I'm not sad, and I hope if they take it to court, I hope they don't win. I hope they still go down because, like you guys have said, they've had a good run of it. We've had enough of oof ball and all that. Tough place to go, tough more. Please let them go and sit down in the championship for a bit. We won't miss them.
This era Stoke City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick point on what Ola just said. West Ham, I think that one, the issue then was one or two players. They bought Mascherano, a lot of Tevez from dodgy deals. So it was difficult for you to relegate them on 1 or 2 players. But if you're breaking the whole fair play stuff, the issue is, I believe the fair play were relaxed because of COVID and all that. So it's going to
but they're still over.
Yeah, I don't trust fair play anymore. It's going to be too difficult. I just see how come it's just coming out now?
No, the thing is, Ovi, they relaxed it, but Everton still went over and beyond.
I know, but why is it just coming out the last week? Why didn't it come out?
Because, of course, because now they know they have a lot to lose. Burnley and Leeds know they have a lot to lose. They didn't say anything before, but now that they know Everton are going to stay up.
It's just between Burnley and Everton now. Leeds no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Leeds don't care. Leeds don't care anymore. It's only Burnley now. So I don't want Burnley to win that case, but I think they'll drag it. I hope they don't win it because I want them to go down.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck to them.
Okay.
I mean, they're already down. I hope they stay down.
Oh, let's transition to the favorite topic of today, in my opinion. Arsenal top 4 final review. It's in our hands, FC. We'll let Dada go first. Who is a Chelsea fan? I know he has vested interest in this, obviously. So, Dada.
Sorry, I'm in a rush, but I don't know. This is a very happy day for me. I just can't. I don't know how much. I don't know how to just put in words how much this means to me. So where did we start, right? So Arsenal started the season really bad. They thought that we were going to be relegated, but then they went through a good string of results. They find themselves in a really good position. And when did they lose? I'll tell you where. I'll tell you where they lost. They lost to Brighton, Crystal Palace, and there was one more team they lost to. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't a top game. There was a smaller team they lost to.
Southampton.
Thank you. So they lost those 3 games, and they're like, oh, top 4 is over. So they went through this like roller coaster. And on the other end, Spurs drew with Brighton and then lost another game. But anyways, so I knew they were going to lose top 4 when they lost to Spurs, right? Like the moment they lost 3-0 to Spurs, that was it. You can ask he had a lot more confidence than I did, but we're very sure that they were going to lose to Newcastle. Like we're just so sure of that. And we're also very sure that, Spurs were going to beat Burnley and Norwich at the end of the season, right? So all in all, though, the only reason why it's funny was because Arsenal was very close and they lost in the last minute, and they also lost to Spurs. But if you look at if you kind of zoom out and be honest with ourselves, when you look at the team where they are in their process that they're trusting, they finished where you'd expect that team to finish. To really be, what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to throw. If Arsenal had finished 4th, I would say, they were pushing a little above their weight. Once you consider, Arteta is a kind of new, young manager, the team is sort of young. Even though maybe on paper they might have the same kind of team with Spurs, but Spurs just have a way better manager. They had a better transfer window. So, all in all, I felt like this is a season where you can't really, no team really finished where they should. You had some teams on the bottom, like maybe Brighton, that kind of did better than you'd expected. But if you look at the top 6, most teams really finished where you think they would finish on paper, for the exception of United, right? And United is there's a lot of structural things going on with United. So their off-the-field issue was greater than their on-the-field issue, and that's where they finished, right? You look at City and Liverpool, they're in a league of their own. Chelsea is marginally better than Arsenal and Spurs. So, yeah, as I said, like it was a good season. To watch the look on Arsenal's face, at the last minute to drop out of top 4. That was very, very satisfying. I put a lot of money into making this shirt. I had a nice video online that you guys can watch. I've been celebrating with me and my family all day. This has been great. Look at them drinking tea, but now they're drinking their own tears. Look at that. You can't make this up. and I got this shirt made like a week ago. Not even so.
Just to add to what Dada said, I think if Everton needed the game today, they would have won. Like that's how sure I was that Arsenal were going to win. So if Everton had needed to win today, they would have beaten Arsenal. That's how confident I am. It's just, it is what it is. Like Arteta, where Arsenal, like all I said, Dada said, where Arsenal are is relatively where they should be. After finishing, was it 8th and 8th?
Yep.
Yeah. So to finish 6th, like you guys better take that. But yeah, like trolling aside, everybody's where they should be, except United, obviously.
But Arsenal did have some bad injuries, though. To be fair to them, they lost some very key players. So
true.
But that was a gamble. That was the gamble they took.
You guys are too easy.
That was a gamble.
On Obi, man, you are too easy. Let's take this before we let Obi talk. I'm just joking. Let's take this. This season has been crazy, absolutely mental. EPL is watching two great teams at their peak. wow, who wrote this? And the league is getting better, trying to catch up with these two. Oh, we Liverpool fans, this is by Dr. Sakat. Have been
Dr.
spoiled,
Saikat.
and the manager. Imagine winning 2 trophies, going for a possible third, and I'm sad because the first deserving team won the EPL. City and Liverpool have pushed each other to crazy standards. Tears of relief from Pep is a testament to Liverpool's quality. I don't see the rest of the comment. All right. Who wanted? Ola, you were saying something? If I caught you on?
No, I was just saying. Well, it was a gamble because the Arsenal. We're talking about injuries to the Arsenal squad. I remember when we had a podcast around that time where I was saying this is a gamble. I understand why he did it. I understand why Arteta did it because he knows, okay, they're not in the FA Cup, they're not in the Carabao Cup. Let me trim the squad. Let me get out some of the unscrupulous elements, the people who don't turn up for training on time. So I understand why he did it. But then the gamble you take is when your squad is that small and start picking up injuries, then problems start arising. Look at Liverpool ourselves. We're picking up injuries left, right, and center now. Thiago is injured now. Fabinho is still injured. There's no way, but we can cope with it because I have a big squad full of good players. But us now had a small squad, so when the injury started hitting, yeah, of course it was going to collapse. They were going to collapse. Before we started, we were talking about giving Conte credit, and I think Ov was disagreeing. But why I want to give Conte credit was Spurs were not even in the conversation for top 4 before this guy took over. Spurs were in shambles. They were far from 4th place.
They were 9th.
So
They were 9th, yeah.
exactly. They were 9th. So that's why I'm giving him credit. It took them from 9th to 4th. Okay, now you can say maybe Arsenal messed it up by losing some games they shouldn't have lost. But Spurs too lost some games they shouldn't have lost. They're losing at home to Brighton even up to 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think we just have to give Conte credit. He got them over the line, even though Arsenal had it in their hands. But at no point did you feel that when the pressure came on, Arsenal would keep hold of it. It just felt like, man, this team is just too inexperienced and naive. At the end of the day, you don't blame them. They're young boys. They're young players, many of them. So I'm not even going to blame them. They did well. They did well to finish 5th. But I don't know how next season. Ovi, you have to tell us how will next season look. But you guys need a big squad. You're going to play Europa. This season you could get away with it, but this next season you can't get away with this small squad. You're going to be playing Thursday, Sundays. It's not going to be fun, man.
And now the expectation is there, right? Like once you finish 5th, there is an expectation.
Yes.
So, and I don't think United is going to suck as much as they did this season. So, I mean, yeah, you kind of make the argument that United and Arsenal are kind of like the 2 peas in a pod. So,
okay, Ovi, let's hear from you. Go.
Okay, so first point I wanted to point out, Conte is top manager, but when he took over Spurs, they were just 2 points behind Arsenal. So it's not like
in 9.
Yeah, Arsenal. Don't forget, Arsenal stayed up at last place, and they're climbing up. So I'm just saying, overall, if you look at it, they finished 2 points ahead of Arsenal. So you gained a 4-point spread, even with everything going on with Arsenal. That's just one. But like I said, everybody knows Conte is the top coach. He's won Serie A, has won Premier League. No doubt about it. I'm just trying to say that. So it was not like as if it did. Not as if they were 10 points behind Arsenal and they came back or something. When he came, they were 2 points behind Arsenal. When he came. But that's an aside. For Arsenal, I think I think Dada mentioned it, that the 2 clubs are in 2 different places. Arteta is in a unique position that a lot of managers are not in. That he knows his people not going to get fired. So he has that already. And they have a plan that they've put in, they provided it to the board. This is what we're trying to do. It's going to take a few years, but this is what we are trying to do. It's different with Conte. Conte came in and said, oh, generally, I want this player. I want 5 players. They only gave him 2. He was whining all over the whole place. So there are 2 different clubs in 2 different places. But what I would say for Arsenal is that, like I said it before, last time I was here, that Arsenal, Bukayo Saka at 20 and Bukayo Saka at 22, there's going to be difference. So the squad is so young that just going from year to year, they will get better. They finished 5th this season. I felt like before the season they were the 6th best team. But now, anything below 4th next season is a failure. Simple. That's just the truth, because you cannot finish 5th again next season. You have to move forward. The the issue with Ateta, like I said, he's growing pains. It's how I always say growing pains from the beginning of I've been saying growing pains. The squad is young, the manager is young. He is learning on the job. He's making mistakes that rookies are going to make. And we have to bear with him because we are seeing the potential at the end.
Do you think
Arsenal seem to lose matches in clusters.
you think they give that contract too early? Sorry to interrupt.
I mean, the fact that they gave him contract after 3 losses shows you how, like I said, he has already discussed his plan and what they're trying to do together with the board, and they already are agreeing with it. So at this point, beginning of season, they wanted top 6. So when it was in top, once we guaranteed top 6, he will sign the contract. That was what they were looking for. They were not planning for a top 4.
So now I'm asking you, forget what
Yeah.
what things. Do you think he should have gotten that contract?
No, I was going to give him the contract. The only way I would not give that contract is if he didn't make top 6.
Okay. So you
Because it's simple. You cannot see the manager going to 1 year left on his contract and expect to buy players that you really want. Because the players are buying into the manager, right? So if you want to go in and buy Gabriel Jesus and after that 1 left on his contract, how is he going to come? Why is he going to come? When the next manager might come after him and buy somebody else.
Okay.
So we have no choice. Either you give him or you sack him. Those are the only 2 options. There's only going to go in 1 year left and going to a new season. What's the use of that? So that's the way I saw that. And me, my own criteria for keeping him was finish in top 6 and you get your contract. Finish in top 4, get your contract and a bonus. Because you over-exceeded expectations. Simple as that. That's the way I saw it. But the issue with Arsenal is not really, it's because you came so close, you were leading and you now lose. That's where it becomes painful. The idea is he was in a position where the right told him, you're good, you're safe. We trust your process, we trust your plan, whatever it is you're doing. That's why they made the decision they made in January. They were like, let's trim this squad. We feel like even with this trim squad, at least we'll make Europa League. Other clubs won't do that. They would have pushed for Champions League because they were in a good position at that point. But they said, you know what? We're fine. Let's not allow some good results to change our plan. We want to get for these players. It's been difficult to get results for these players. We have a chance to get rid of some of them now. Let's do it. And they did it. They wanted to buy 1 or 2 players that were available. They couldn't get them. They moved on. Let's continue. Somehow we'll have the choice of the best players we want to get. Hopefully with Champions League. If not, with Europa League. And we'll move on. That's the way that's the vibe I got from the club. So it's painful because you were leading and you could have done it. But at the end of the day, the club internally, they were okay with this. This is what their plan was. This is probably what they told them. We'll come top 6 this season. We'll buy more players. The players will get older. We'll come top 4 the next season. And we'll continue from there. So he might not be the one to take us to the promised land. But for this part of the process, he's the right man. How many managers will come to Arsenal and deal with the kind of young squad he's dealing with? Very few. Conte will be whining every day. But he wants that player. So they trusted what he's trying to do something. It's gonna, like I said, growing pains. It's gonna be painful sometimes, but you have to grow. You have to plan it. This is the plan they have sold them. They are okay with it, and they are going. So I mean, like I said, for me, I'll start for 1 day because it was paused and it was like so close but so far. By the end of the day, they just made expectation, and for them, they're still on course for what they're supposed to do. There's no major crisis. They are on plan for what they plan to do. So they know for them, they're okay. They trim the squad because there are no Europe. They're big wages. Aubameyang, like I said, also they removed Kolasinac. Big wages are off the wage book. Means they can go into the market and buy big players. Oh, they come money. If AC Milan offers a player 80k per week and Arsenal offers the same player 120k per week, trust me, it's coming to us. It's the fact. Last time I was here, I said the one thing I got from the last weekend of before that podcast was that Mbappe was going to Madrid. Lo and behold, Mbappe is the PSG for next season. Money talks. Europa League just means that Arsenal will have to pay more in wages for some players. That's just the simple. That's just the truth about it. But they can still get the players they want. Not all of them, but they can still get most of them might have to buy a little bit more, but they can still get those. Man, you can buy players without Champions League. Just have to offer a little bit more. That's it. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm not really
Okay.
like I said. For Arsenal, I feel like they tried. They had a good season. The club learned. I'm hoping Arteta learned too. I hate that decision when they were always trying to move Zaka to left back and just trust your team, let the players play because those matches tend to affect more than one game. Those decisions. So the same that happened against Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Southampton. He moved Zaka to left back and just affected the whole game. The next game they lost. We lost the first three of the season. We lost to Everton and Man U back to back. We lost to Spurs and Newcastle back to back. So overall, the only time we lost, apart from those games, were pretty much maybe Man City home and away and Liverpool home and away. All the other games were in clusters of threes or twos. So most
Yeah.
times, whenever we lost, we're going to lose the next game. It's a young team. Most time when you lose, is because for us now, it's because Partey is injured and he doesn't know how to rejig his team to make it work for the next match. Or Tierney gets injured. He doesn't know how to rejig his team because he doesn't want to play Tavares. He will now want to bring a midfielder to come and play left back, disrupt the whole team. Oh, Tomiyasu gets injured. He's not sure who to put. He brings somebody. So I'm hoping he has learned about his team a little bit more. I'm hoping he's going to buy players that he can trust. Because, like I said, apart from Man City and Liverpool, all the other games were in clusters.
Ovi, I'm going
Yes.
to jump in with. It's good talking about the manager, about the team, but don't you think the fans themselves have a role to play? See how Arsenal fans generally behave. It has
No,
to be
but
called into question too.
yeah, but
Wait, it has to be called into questions. Let
the
me
fans
land.
this
Let me land.
season,
It
the fans this
matters.
season,
It,
yeah,
it
the fans
matters.
this season were phenomenal. The match going
I
fans. The
I don't
match
know.
going
I don't
fans.
know.
Yeah. No, no, no.
Phenomenal.
What do you mean about the
Your
fans? Like,
fans, your
what do you
fans
No,
are
mean?
a
no,
big
no, no,
problem,
no.
man.
Ola, the match going fans were phenomenal this season for Arsenal. Win, lose, home, away, they were phenomenal. Against
No,
Spurs,
wait.
they were
Let Ola
fantastic.
explain. Ola, what do you mean about the fans? Like,
If you're
what do
talking
you
of the people that you know bantering on social media, that's different. The fans
No,
that
no,
were
no,
going
no,
to the
not just the
stadium,
social media. I watch Arsenal fan TV now. I still watch Arsenal fan TV. It's very entertaining. I still see them. I still see the way they slam some of these your young players, and I see the way you guys, the way some Arsenal fans don't handle a bit of a good run. Let's just put it that way. When you're in a bit of good run, you think everything is fine, everything is hunky dory. Then it's all about. It's not just on social media, even on in the fan videos from the Arsenal fan TV.
yeah,
It's too
yeah,
much on those players. Those players are young. They're young.
yeah,
When you're in a
yeah,
good run, you're supposed to not put too much expectation on their shoulders, and that's why Arsenal fans get end up getting trolled so much because you guys is like a boom and bust cycle for many of you fans. It's like a boom and we're on a 5-game winning run. Hey, we're going to catch Chelsea. We're going to catch Chelsea. That's the next thing you guys are thinking of. It puts too
yes.
much expectation on those players.
No, no,
It's too much.
sure, like that's what fans are supposed to do. Be excited
Oh,
when you
come on.
win. No, no, look at what I'm trying to say now. Arsenal fan TV is not representative of Arsenal fans. It's just a social media channel looking for clicks and likes and views, and so that's what
But
it
those
is,
are
right?
fans that go to the stadium. They are fans that go to the stadium to
Yeah,
watch
but
match.
I'm saying the home matches this season for Arsenal, they were rocking, win, lose or draw. The away matches against Newcastle, against Tottenham, they were rocking. So it's not like about the fans. The fans, social media fans. I mean, social media is social media because it is more. I mean, you get more hits for being controversial. That's pretty much it. So that's what's selling. But even AFTV has toned down. It's not like the days of Troops and all those guys and then DT. Nowadays, it's very level-headed. Some people come in and whine after you lose a game or something. But overall, it's gone down. Like the one thing you can say about Teta is that he has put together a squad that the fans love. Bottom line, they are young, yes, but the fans are behind the squad. If you watch today's game, the same thing. We lost by 50, but everybody's like everybody's behind the squad. We know, yes, we could have done more, but before we hated the squad, we were like, why is Crystal earning all this money? He's not playing anything. Why is this guy doing this? Why is Ozzy not playing and collecting 350K a week every week? It's not the same anymore. They've weeded out all those players to try to create space for the players and the characters that they want. Like it's not going to be an easy process. You've sold the dream. This is what we want to do. It's going to take some time. The board has agreed with the time. So let us so that way there's no hurry for him. Like this is it. If you make top four, well, that's a bonus. And for them, that's the way they saw it. As a fan, I wanted to make top four, but that's what they planned. I'm not making decisions. I'm not deciding who to. In January, Arsenal let go of almost the whole team. Aubameyang, Kolasinac, Maitland-Niles, Callum Chambers, Pablo Mari. I mean, pretty much who does that without bringing any player? They are clearing the wages for the players they want. Striker, they said, let's get Vlahovic. If you can't get Vlahovic, we'll wait till summer. Simple. It's painful to watch, but they have a plan of what they're trying to do. Arteta is lucky because the ownership are with him. Other clubs are not like that. If you don't win, they'll fire you. But Arteta's one is they already know that this is the guy we are going with. We want to give him this time to do this project. Like I always say, he might not be the guy to go to the promised land, but he has an important role to play because he's very culture oriented. He has changed the culture of that club. No more freeloader. If you are a player, you can't listen to instructions, they will phase you out. It's just as simple. So at the end of the day, we just have to wait. When the time comes, if you come to the point where you're coming third and you can't move on to the next step, then it might be time to say, you know what, we need to get a different manager. But for where we are at right now, he's the perfect man for the job because he's going to come. He came, remove all the players that he doesn't want, and he's going to bring in the players he wants. So if those players come in and with 2 years not doing anything, then you can have a case to say, you know what, it's time to fire this guy. But for now, I mean, I don't see he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's changing the culture of the club because he's trying to do a quick change. You can't do a quick change. He's trying to change it and sustain it like Liverpool. That's what they're trying to do. They can't cope with Man City and Chelsea with money before. So the only way to do it is the Liverpool way. Buy smart, trade smart, and build it up.
Let me take comment. Good point. Arteta is way out of his league here. This league doesn't allow you to learn on the job. In the top club, you get more than Stevie did a great thing going to Villa first. The only comment, so that we can move to like combined 11 for the season. The only comment I have about this is I'm always very wary of just the experience of Solskjaer in Manchester United, right? I'm always very wary of progress that like this, where it feels like there was a lot of caveats, right? Arteta has done well, right? He has done well this season specifically. The last season, I don't think he did well. This season, he has done well. But like Ola pointed out, you guys were not in Europe, right? So there's a lot of caveats with this Arsenal team that I'm like, when United gets better, like I think we will next season, and Spurs gets better, which I think it is. If Conte stays, they'll get better. They'll buy better players.
And Newcastle bring in billions.
Yeah. When I look at that Arsenal team, I'm not yet convinced. I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm not yet convinced that Tomiyasu, for example, will have a season like this again. Or Partey has showed us that he cannot stay fit. So I think that's a problem already for you guys straight away. I'm also not convinced that, say, next season, people will not figure out Odegaard. He had a good season this season. I'm not convinced Saka is going to have a season like this again. My point is that I think it's too early to know if this is true progress until you guys actually break into top four. That was one conversation I had with Arsenal fans like over last week. I'm still not sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. When I look at Arteta, I look at Arsenal, just the people losing clusters. The fact that early in the season, I still didn't understand what he was trying to do. From a stylistic standpoint, it got better later, but from early parts, like, this is too like, it's too robotic. It's too moron. It's too, the way you guys are trying to create was just very predictable. Early in the season, it got better later, but I'm not sure. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I'm just saying I think Arsenal fans should be very cautious because this season, a lot of players, in my opinion, punched above their weight. I think Saka punched way above his weight this season. He could have a deep next season. I'm being honest, I think so. When I watch him, I think he punched way above his weight. Then the key part of your team, in my opinion, is not fixed, which is midfield. Everybody's midfield is always the key. Like Partey, the fact that he's so injury prone is a big, big problem because you can't rely on that. Because then when he goes out, and every time he goes out, like you said, or Ola mentioned, and you have to bring out them Lukonga and those other guys, that's when you guys start, there's no consistency. And until you get that midfield where it's okay, this is the midfield that you can rely on 30, 32 games a season and play this way, I don't think you should be this confident that you are going to progress next season into top 4. I don't think you should be. A lot of Arsenal fans are thinking that way. I think people are getting too excited. And people should wait. Just look at United, for example. Like, look at United. Like, we came third, second, everybody like, hey, so we went back, like way back, right? And when I look at your team, I look at your midfield, I'm not confident about midfield. A lot of Arsenal fans, probably I'm not. When I look at that midfield, I'm like, Partey is the person I'm confident about, but he's too injury prone. A player that plays half of the season every time, it's like, so.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just address a few points real quick. So you're not confident about the midfield.
I'm not.
Arsenal fans are not either. The idea is you have to buy the players they're talking about, right? So that's why it's creating the space for them.
But they might not fit. That's the point I'm saying. Because
That's fine. That's fine.
Are going to progress next season. You might not progress. You might not.
But I'm resting my trust on them on what they did last summer.
Okay.
I don't know how summer was. The season before this season, Arsenal had like 30 players. And a lot of, like 15 players were just on the bench knowing that they would never play. You had Ozil, you had Saliba before he let him go mid-season. There were a lot of players that were just Kolasinac, Socrates, Mustafi. They were just there chilling.
Yeah.
So that's why he trimmed the squad first. In January, once you go out of Europe, he over-trimmed a bit more than I felt that he needed to. But at that point, maybe he got carried away, like thinking that, you know what, we're playing one game a week, Partey's going to be fit all the time. Or Tomiyasu is going to be fit all the time. Partey pretty much tried until, I think going to March. He was playing until March. So it's not like as if he just dropped out injured every time. He was playing, and because you're playing one game a week, he was able to cope. March when he dropped off, it was 2 months, so he couldn't really come back. The way to, like you said, Ateta is building from the back front, back upwards. So he's not but one attacker since he came to Arsenal. He's not but one. He's bought so many, pretty much, if you look at the defenders, he bought Cedric. He bought Tomiyasu. He bought Gabriel. He bought Ben White. He bought Tierney came before him. He got Tavares. He bought Ramsdale. He's buying the American goalkeeper Maton as backup. So pretty much of the back 10, 8 defenders and 2 goalkeepers, he's pretty much bought like 8 of those players.
Are you confident that defense can get you top for next season?
But the defense was very good. He has like the third clean sheet, like 3rd or 4th in the league. I'm just saying he's building from the back forward. He's not bought one attacker. He's been here 2.5 years. Because the attacker that was there, you can't buy an attacker when you have Aubameyang collecting 300k. Where is he? How are you going to pay him? We're not Man City or PSG. We cannot. So either Aubameyang is playing, or you have to create a space by letting him go, so you can pay the player you want to bring in. That's what he's trying to do. So, like I said, they looked at it. The good thing for him was that it's not under the pressure of saying, "Oh, we'll fire you." The club has given him the space to work.
I get all that. What I'm saying is, I think Arsenal fans should be very cautious about this progress. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but Arsenal fans are people. Now people are going to talk about different things.
Okay.
So
okay, let me address you now. Ovi, I think you should be very cautious about the progress of Arsenal because personally, when I look at that back defense, all those players you mentioned, I am not confident. Apart from maybe one, maybe Tomiyasu. All those players you mentioned, I'm not confident they are going to have a season like they had this season. Because this season, to everybody, they were great, but this is where you guys ended up, right? So I'm just saying, I think you should guys be cautious. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's every season. Beginning of this season, they said, "Oh, Chelsea came 3rd last season and they buying Lukaku. Forget, no other team can make the top 4. Oh, Man U came, whatever, and they bought Sancho, Varane." It's every season. The Premier League is tough. But that's why the reason why Man U dropped off is because there was no concrete plan. They were just buying player. So whenever things crumbled, everything crumbled. I think that's where he's trying to build something. So once you get to the top, like the way Liverpool got to the top, you can sustain it because it was built over a few years. You're not just buying 3 players and so buying the best player. No, that's how it works. So
that's why, but I don't want to believe that's why
to build up. The issue is, yeah, it's not open. Like I said, there is space. Aubameyang and Lacazette together is 500k per week off the wage bill.
We did the same thing. You know, right? This thing you are saying is the same thing we did. You know that, right? This is the same thing we did. Like clearing players out, and we did the same thing.
No, but you not kept players. You're talking about McTominay and Fred, and they're still there. Matic, Martha, they won't.
No. We had that 2 summers ago. We cleared like 12 players, and everyone was like, "Oh,
And that's so that's so.
great rebuild."
It depends on who's doing the rebuild. If the rebuild is done well, then it will be good. If it's not done, it depends on who Arsenal can bring in. The midfield is bad for sure. If you bring in 2 players that can make midfield work better, then of course everything will be fine. If you bring in 2 players that don't settle in well, of course you're going to go backwards. But I'm saying it depends on who you bring in. My faith is based on what they did last summer, because they brought in good players, not by name, but to fit what they're trying to do. So if they do the same thing again, added to what they did last summer, then we're moving forward. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying guarantees.
Okay. I'm not even disputing that you guys are moving forward. I think you guys will even progress next season. But like one factor that I was brought up is when people say, "Oh, we are going to progress," it's not independent of other teams not progressing.
Exactly.
So say, we can progress, but that doesn't mean Spurs will not get better next season. Spurs are in Champions League. That doesn't mean Chelsea won't get better either. That doesn't mean that at this moment, even teams like don't sleep on Newcastle. They're endless resources. And another thing, my main point was it's not even the quality. You've made a very good point. You've cleared up space for wages. So that means you can bring in quality players. My worry with us now is the quantity now. Because your squad is small and you're going to play Europe Thursday and Sundays. I know you're not going to be playing your first team players all the time.
Exactly.
There's some games the first team players will need to play. Maybe by the time you get to maybe second round or quarterfinals, Arteta will start taking the competition seriously. Because you think that, okay, this is a competition we can win. So that's my worry for us now because your squad is so small at this moment, and you're even losing, like I said, is going. You're losing maybe a couple more players. The quantity is going to be a problem.
You know that it's done. Like, I'm so glad he's leaving. Like, I can run faster, like I said right now. I'm not trolling. I am not trolling. I can run faster than him right now. That's just a fact. Like, I'm not like I said. If you can, you know me. I'll never say what I'm going to finish fourth. I'm just telling you that if anything below fourth for Arsenal next season is a failure. I'm not saying they will get it.
Fair enough.
This season, fifth is not a failure. Next season, fifth will be a failure. That's why I see it.
It's not. Let's go to combined 11. I think we spent so much time on this.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's good. I like it. I like the conversation. So this time we're going to combine 11 so that we don't spend the whole. I know all of you have your combined 11s, but that's why I want to do this method where we're going to do like so. Each person, say for example, I start with Ovi. Ovi will pick the keeper, right? If mine, Ola, Daniel, or Dada, if Dada is still part of joining us, if 4 of us have a different keeper, or let's say Ola and Daniel has the same keeper, then we knock Ovi's zone out. That's the person that becomes the combiner. If all of us have different keepers, we'll stick with Ovi's zone, or ask people in the comment. But we're not getting too much participation today. But we stick with Ovi's zone if we all have different keepers. So that's kind of how I want to do this one. If that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Who said this? You don't have the players for it. Okay, I guess that's the argument of Arsenal. That's Asha, who is a Chelsea fan, if I remember.
Chelsea.
Okay, so I'll start. So we are playing 4-3 for this combined 11.
4-3-3. Okay.
So for the keeper, for what I have for mine, I have Alisson.
Okay. I have Sa.
Okay. Who do you have, Ola?
I have Osesa from Wolves.
Okay. Ovi, who's your keeper?
I have Alisson.
Okay. Daniel.
Alisson. I know people talk about like Alisson, Ederson, but I think Alisson is clear. Like especially in 1v1 situations. Ederson coming out too early, or that going down too early, all that stuff.
Then he should stop in.
Alisson is so clutch.
Yeah, it's so big and so confident and so honky. Yeah, Alisson.
Like a big bear. That's what they call him. They call him the man that looks like a bear in the goal. Yeah, so big and honky.
Just seems right. It seems right.
Okay. This guy's a
Please. Sorry. Just a quick note on De Gea. I'm so glad Ogaran brought this up. A quick note on De Gea. So yesterday, an interview comes out, and he's talking about how United. It's been a bad season for United, but for him personally, it's been a good season. This was yesterday when our goal difference was 1. Guys, we finished this entire season, 9 months, 38 games played with a goal difference of 0.
Are you serious?
And you have a goalkeeper talking about how he had a good season.
Man.
Like the lack of awareness is it's astounding. Astounding.
It is. I think it is. Okay, so we're going with Alisson since we already have 2 people. Okay, Ovi, I'll let you pick the right back. Who's your right back?
Right back.
42.
I went to Trent. So between Trent and James, I went to Trent.
Okay, I have Trent.
Yeah, I have Trent.
Yeah, Trent for me as well.
Okay, easy. Alisson, Trent. First center back pick. I'll go to Ola.
Ruben Diaz.
Okay, Ruben Diaz.
Do we call the 2? But maybe you should call the 2 so we can know. Call the 2 so we can know who.
Diaz and Van Dijk. Diaz and Van Dijk.
Ovi, what do you have?
I have Rudiger and Van Dijk.
Daniel.
I have Rudiger and Diaz.
Oh, okay. I have Van Dijk. I have Van Dijk and Diaz.
Okay.
I guess
that's it.
I guess Van Dijk Diaz then.
Yeah, that's what
I felt Rudiger brought so much this season.
Yeah, he did.
He did back 3 tacks, like they say. That's my own for
True.
back 3 tacks. He plays in the back 3. I'm not as convinced that he's that great in the back 2, personally.
Okay.
He's good, but I don't think it's that level he plays.
Yeah.
This small space, unlike when he plays in the
It's
back.
it's like David Luiz when they won that year. Yeah, fair enough.
Daniel, I guess left back. Who's your left back?
Left back. I'm actually going to go ahead and put Cancelo there. Is that okay?
Yeah, I have Cancelo too.
Yeah, Cancelo for me too.
Yeah, I had him too. I had Cancelo. So 3 midfield. I think everybody has gone, right? So for me,
yes.
My DM has to be Rodri. I think he has been exceptional. That's my DM. I don't know who you have as DM.
You want to just do DM or all 3 positions?
I think we do DM.
Let's do DM. Yeah. I have Rodri.
I have Rodri too.
Fabinho.
Daniel.
Rodri for me.
Okay, so Rodri it is. Asha says Reece James over Trent for defensive purposes and was second behind Trent in assist.
Second is just the first loser.
Yeah.
Reece James plays as a wing back. He's not a right back. He's a wing back.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's true. So we have Rodri for us, our DM. Right central midfield, Ovi.
Right central midfield. I was a little biased with this. I picked Odegaard.
Okay.
I like the guy. He's my favorite Arsenal player right now. Even though I feel Saka is the best player, I feel Odegaard is my favorite. Odegaard. So I like him.
Fair. Who's yours? Ola?
Well, me, I didn't know you were going with 4-3-3. I thought it was 4-2-3-1. So I put Declan Rice. But it's a central midfielder. It's not really a defensive. It's a central midfielder in a way.
Yeah.
So I put Declan Rice.
Okay.
Kevin for me, easily. Especially towards the end of the season when running. Kevin.
Oh no, I still have De Bruyne too.
Okay.
I have De Bruyne too.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe we should just pick the 2. So let's.
Yeah, that's what I said. Better to pick the 2.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, go back then. Who are your 2?
Okay, I have for my own 2. I have Odegaard and KDB.
Okay. Ola.
KDB and Declan Rice.
Okay. Daniel.
Putting me on the spot for the second one. I'd say KDB definitely.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Guimaraes before Bruno Fernandes.
Speak.
So I'll say Kevin and meet Bernardo.
Interesting. I had KDB and Declan Rice like Ola. I think Declan was exceptional this season.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a good player.
So we have
Declan Rice.
Our midfield is Rodri, KDB, Declan Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next to pick? So we have 3 forwards now. So we'll start with our left side. I think Ola.
Last start.
The Egyptian king running down the wing. Left. Another golden put.
That's right. That's right side.
Oh, sorry.
Left.
Right, left on this side. Okay. Sensational. Sensational.
Yeah, I had Son. I think that was pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean Son is
Daniel, I'm sure you had Son too, right?
On the left, yeah, Son.
It was
Case for what's his name? Luis Diaz, but came too late, I think.
Too late.
Came
Yeah.
too late,
too late. I agree.
Or Son for me.
I have Son too. What's this man saying? Nobody put one Saka for right back. Shameful.
Half Bisaka.
Half Bisaka.
Not one. Half Bisaka.
The United review, man, it's gonna be brutal. I'm coming with a full dossier. Let me do it in
Oh boy.
full dossier on our recruitment. So Son, who's the next person now to pick?
That would be you, I think.
No, you, Daniel. You.
Oh, me? For
Yeah.
what? For the middle or for the right?
Right.
Right, Salah, obviously. I think that's unanimous.
Yeah, that should be unanimous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Obi, don't I say,
Well, let me. I don't know. I don't know. Okay,
Saka.
let me put it this way.
okay.
I have my front three as Saka, Salah, and Son.
Triple
Not
X.
because I think Saka is the best player in his position, but I'm so impressed with him after adversity in the summer that I put him in my team.
You want to accommodate him, find a way.
Yes.
Like all of
So I
it.
pushed Salah to my striker position
Okay.
so that Saka can be on my right. That's what I did. I mean, so that's the.
Okay, so we have our front two. Left is Son, right is Salah. For top striker,
That's hard. Between Ronaldo and Kane, I guess.
It's not hard.
It's not hard for me.
It's not hard for me.
It's not hard between Ronaldo and
Not
Kane.
hard. It's not hard.
It's not hard for me. Ronaldo,
all
Ororo.
the way. All the way.
Ororo.
Kane came through now.
You don't finish third in the goal scorers list with your team sitting in 6th, 7th, or whatever.
On that guy to look at his Vardy, I know he missed a lot of the season. The guy had like 2 or 3 goals less than Ronaldo, and he missed so much of the season.
Ooh.
But I understand what you're saying. Ronaldo is Ronaldo.
Who missed much of the season?
Jamie Vardy.
Oh, Vardy. Oh, yeah.
And he had like 15 goals, in the league. So I'm just saying Vardy is Vardy too, because I mean he missed so much and still scored like 15 goals.
Well,
So,
Yeah, fair point.
Ronaldo,
But yeah.
Ronaldo played with at least 8 or 9 bozos every week.
yeah,
I think there's a strong case for him there.
interested. Yeah,
fair enough for Ronaldo.
I have Kane.
Yeah, I said Kane too did well. He came through in the
Kane
clutch
is fair, yeah.
in the clutch period.
I
He came
Kane.
through.
He had 17 goals and 9 assists.
Yeah, that was it. At the end, he came good. So,
He had 17 and 9.
but Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Without Ronaldo, Man U might have finished in the bottom half.
Are you sure?
So,
We can go into this conversation on United review. We'll go into this. A lot of people are just prisoners of the moment about this Ronaldo conversation. A lot of people are.
Beef.
I mean, I have Kane, but all of you have Ronaldo, right? So we'll put Ronaldo there. So our combined 11 is Alisson, Trent. Who was our left back?
Diaz,
Cancelo, Diaz, Virgil van Dijk, Rodri, KDB, Declan Rice, Son, Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo. What's this guy saying? The only list Bruno Fernandes will enter is the list of players who hit a British Airways plane at the Manchester Airport. Let's go to our season awards. I think this one created a lot of controversy, right? I think I saw that on social media. Like some of the player of the year or that.
yeah, young player of the year as well.
Let's start with manager of the year. Ovi, who's your manager of the year?
I made that decision today. I'll go with Pep because if he hadn't won, the whole hammer would have come on him. So, I mean, I would have said Arteta if he made top 4, but he didn't make it. Another good shout was Newcastle guy because since he came on, they were still doing well. But you can't give Klopp. He came second, so Pep.
Ola, manager of the year. Who's your manager of the year?
When they say manager of the year, are you guys restricting it to only the league? So that's why I want to know, because if you're saying it's only, are we counting only what they've done in the league? If that's what we're saying, then of course Pep will be the one because he won the league basically. But he won it because he's expected to win it anyway. So if I'm going to give somebody, I'll give David Moyes. If we're talking about only the league, because he got them up to is it 6th? Did they get them to 6th?
7th.
Oh, it's finished 7th. Got them into Europe again.
Conference League.
In Conference League.
Nah.
Conference
he had
League,
finished
and he got them
sixth,
to.
I'd have said yes.
Oh, but semi-finals of the Europa. So no, the main question is if it's we're looking at the achievements overall for this. Huh?
Use everything. Use everything.
Oh, everything is
If it's
everything.
everything.
I'll change it though. I'll change my answer.
If it's everything, then it's club.
Let's do this.
Because,
Let's make it as interesting. Let's do for league and for overall.
Okay. So for league, for me, it's still Pep. Overall, is club.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Hola.
yeah, for league, yeah, because for league it will still be Pep anyway. But for overall, it will be Klopp because I think it's pretty. I don't have to go into the details of what he has done this season. But even for the league, I would think that the fact that we even managed to get, I don't know, I do throw away a 14-point lead. Seriously, we shouldn't even be here on the final day dragging it with Man City. They should have won this league in March. To be honest. So I don't know. Should we even give him that much props for even dragging this league to the final?
Being 2-0 down and coming back, that's why I gave it to him. It's not because of it, just because 2-0 down.
Credit for that one. But
that's why I gave it to him.
If you're like 12, they were like 12 points ahead of Chelsea going into March or February, late February, and Liverpool were 14 points behind. Okay, we had one game in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels like he almost even let it slip. But they deserved it. 1 point or 2 points or 3 points, they deserve to win the league. But I just don't feel that's even. I really think David Moyes did a great job this season. I really did, because West Ham, they didn't even invest, and they had a small squad. Yeah, I think he did a great job. I think I'm even leaning towards David Moyes now for the league. To be honest, I think he did it. Even if it's 7th, I think he still did a good job.
Okay, Daniel.
Manager of the year, I'm going a little bit more unconventional. I have Patrick Vieira. For me, coming into that squad, knowing, I think it's underestimated a lot of times when like a new manager comes in after a different, another person's era, and most of the time when that new manager comes in, sometimes old players are there, but Vieira came in and I think they had lost like nine or so first team players the season before. He had to bring in his own brought in his own young talent, had to acquire a bunch of loans, The striking options were not so great, Benteke, Mateta, Zaha had to fill in there sometimes. And what he's been able to do with all these young guys, the Aces, the Odysseus, the Gallagher, it's been really, really fun to watch. Tyreek Mitchell, all the entire squad is full of young guys, and they had a very, very good season. Brentford with Thomas Frank as well, doing what they were able to do. But obviously it goes down to bigger scope of things. Overall, I would say Pep, because he right now, the only person matching the legacy he's creating is Sir Alex, who's long gone, and it doesn't look like Pep is going away anytime soon. So he's definitely on course to surpass everything that this man has built in 25 years in the space of 10 years. So definitely have to give it to Pep Guardiola.
Okay. Just to go left field, because everybody has, tagged me as the Pep lover. So
please stay true to form. Please stay true to form.
I'll go left field. I actually give it to Moyes, because I always like to look at the squad value, right? When he bought these players 2 years ago, when you just think about them, like them Susek, that they're right back, I can't remember his name now.
Kufal,
Diop, Bowen, these are players that nobody was thinking about, right? And Mikel Antonio, and they were in the top 4, top 5 for almost all season until March, April, when they started having bad injuries, because they were playing 2 tournaments.
Yeah.
So for the league alone, I'll give it to Moyes for the league. With a special shout out to Antonio Conte, because I remember, even though you say 2 points, he has more wins than Arteta has had all season. And he came in November.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
He does.
Arsenal and Tottenham.
He has more wins than Arsenal than Arteta.
in the league overall.
No.
Ayo.
No.
Wow.
Arsenal and Tottenham have the same amount of wins. Arsenal might even have more wins than them.
No, it's not possible.
Only
Okay.
only Liverpool and Man City have more wins than Arsenal. Arsenal only drew 3 league games this season. But we lost 11 games. That's the problem. So we probably have more wins than Tottenham. You can check it.
Okay, you have
Not-
the same. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, I'm saying, so only Man City and Liverpool have more wins than Arsenal. We have more wins than Chelsea.
Points. Maybe it's the points. There was something
Yeah,
I
that's the point. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
no point.
that has
Because like I
Maybe
said,
fine.
the problem with Arsenal was we didn't draw many games, but we lost a lot of games.
Yeah, they lost 13. Arsenal lost
Yeah.
13.
So that's but we lost to Man City and Liverpool home and away. That's 4. Then we started losing in clusters.
13
We lost-
games. You lost 13 games.
yeah.
I think.
So 4, then we lost those 3, Brighton, whatever.
So maybe it has less losses. Maybe that's the stats I saw. I think it was less losses.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah. So,
That other guy lost like 5 games before he got fired. I can't. No, Esperito. He lost like 4 or 5 games before he got fired, or 6 games. I can't remember before he got fired. I think he lost 6 games before he got fired. So I give him a shout out just because he came in, he saw the holes and he plugged it immediately. 2 signings, Bentancur and Kulusevski. They fit in like a glove, and like literally took them to top 4. So he gets a shout out. Overall, club. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing. You know, it's gotten them to like everything, the cost of everything, every tournament they've played in, and they played over 60 something games. So yes, he gets mine. Club overall, and I think Moyes for the league. But you consider their resources for sure. Player of the year. I'll start with that. Player of the year.
Who, me?
Mhm.
Son.
Okay.
Son, like that's a ridiculous start. You know, no penalty goals like at all. And as they said he had scored his XG by like 6.4 the entire season.
That's true.
That is crazy. I mean, KDB, like, yeah, he gets in there. I think that's based on legacies. Like all these other awards, like Fifth Pro, like, you know,
Okay.
I have like guys like, you know, Marcelo on there, 10, 11 years in a row, like, those type of things. But I think this season, if anyone was going to get that award, it's definitely going to be Son. Yeah, Son for me.
Kobe.
I still go with KDB. I feel player of the season should be with the team that wins. So and KDB is the best player in Man City, so I'll go KDB.
Okay. Ola.
Running down the wing, the Egyptian king. What do you want? What do you want him to do again? Score the most goals, made the most assists. What do you want from him again? You want him to solve
that's actually
world,
true. Okay.
world,
True.
want him to solve the wars all over the world, to cure cancer. What do you want from this man again? He made the most assists. He scored the highest number of goals. What else do you want? Give him his PFA award. Give him
I
the
changed
best
my
player
answer,
award.
actually. I changed my answer. Ola has a
Thank
point.
you, correct guy. You're the correct guy, Jerry.
Oh, Ayo, come on,
Thank
I
you,
forgot about the
KDB.
assist.
Let's go.
I forgot about the assist, to be fair.
We got about the assist.
Yeah, I didn't. I forgot he had the highest number. I thought it was Trent. It was Trent still. But yeah.
My only issue with Salah this season was that during the clutch time, it was pretty much Diaz and Mane carrying them. It
Yeah,
tailed off
true.
the season. So that's why I didn't.
There's a reason.
I mean,
There's a
I'm sure
reason for that.
I'm just saying that's why I don't go with Salah, because numbers wise, he has goals and assists. But clutch time, KDB stepped up and was carrying his team. Salah was looking to Mane and Diaz to carry the team. So
He
that's
was
why
contributing. He was not scoring, but he was still making assists in that period. That's the thing.
Salah
He was not scoring,
Salah
but
was the shadow of himself. Maybe he was thinking of the money.
he
I
was
don't
still
know.
making assists.
Player
The
of
main
the
issue was he played too much football. He played
I
too
know,
much football.
but-
AFCON. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, when it's clutch time, it was Diaz, an inspired signing, Diaz and Mane that were taking you guys to carrying you guys last month or so. So that's why I
I'm
didn't go.
going with KDB just for me. Like, you know, I'll use the playoff spirit, like Ovi said.
Yeah.
Clutch time, KDB, like Champions League. I mean, I know they still went out, but like Champions League, all the crucial games, Manchester Derby, Liverpool draw, like all the key games. My man was just coming up clutch. Even today, like I think he did the assist for the second goal. I think.
Yeah, but last one, I think.
Salah scored today. And Salah also set up a goal against Man City in the 2-2 draw.
Or the third goal.
So it's not like Salah was just chilling, doing nothing all through,
Yeah.
you know.
I think he's been poor from January. I think he has been. You know?
Yeah.
Paul is very harsh. That's very harsh.
He's
Paul
got
is very harsh.
By his standards, you know.
Yeah, but like it's called like
It's come more than twice. What are you saying now? Come on.
No, it's come on try. But the thing is, like you said, a lot beginning of season it was on fire.
Yeah.
But after
Yeah,
the,
but
after the Nations
The
Cup,
counter to your argument is it was on fire and put us in the position to be in this shout for the 4 trophies. If it
I
was not
know.
on fire at the beginning of the season, would Liverpool be in this position at all?
Yeah,
you can't
that's
just dismiss the first half of the season
No.
and say, oh, it was on fire in the first half of it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
part
that
of the
means-
season. A season is a season.
I know. If it's if you say Son, Salah, I'm fine with any of those two. I'm not trying to, why I don't go with Salah is because 1, they didn't win the league. 2, it tailed up at the ending. And
Yeah,
that's where
I agree.
So that's why I see.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
let's not dismiss what he did at the first half of the season
No, you
because
can't
that's still
dismiss.
part of
How
the
can you
season.
dismiss it? Our goal is goal now.
But it feels like it. It feels like it's when you're saying, "Oh, this other person came clutch in the second half of the season." What was KDB doing in the first half of the season? Then
Well,
he was
that's
just selling
why-
beans.
That's what
That's where the money is made at the end of the season now.
That's what
That's the money maker.
But you have to be in a position. Somebody has to put you in that position to exploit being in chance to winning at the end of the season.
That's fair. That's fair. I agree.
Salah put us in a position to be in this shout at the end of the season. So we can't just dismiss, oh, he scored 20 goals in the beginning, so let's throw it away because
I
he didn't
agree,
score.
I agree.
He didn't score 20 goals in the second half of the
Sports,
season.
right? But that's why they always wait. They always wait. It's always skewed towards like in other sports like American sport, NBA, football, it's soccer too, right? That's why there's always skewed
Yeah,
towards.
yeah, it's fair. I see the argument for KDB. I'm not even disputing. KDB is fantastic. I'm not disputing that. KDB is fantastic. They can give it to either of them. Both of them are deserving winners if they give it to either of them. But for me, it's Salah, obviously, and I'm biased, of course. What do you expect? I'm biased.
Young player of the year. Let's end the young player of the year. Ovi, I already know who you are going to choose. Wes.
I mean, come on now. I mean, before you give, I'm telling you, I will even give. I'll give Bowen. I was Bowen in the young player nominee. I'll give Declan Rice before I give Phil Foden. I mean, Foden does not do anything this year. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be biased. Now.
I agree with you.
What pros? Anybody I'll give before Phil Foden this year. So I mean, of course, I'm going with Saka, but I'm just saying, like, I was so shocked to see it.
But Foden's got 9 goals, right? Saka
Saka's got 11 goals.
11 goals, 2 of them were penalties.
Yeah, but Saka.
Let's not start this penalty thing. I beg. It's part of it.
Saka.
Let me ask you a question. If Saka was in Man City, would Saka be taking penalties?
Okay. Like you said, 2 goals, fine. Saka has 19 goal contributions. So 11 goals, 8 assists.
Okay.
Look at
Saka took the penalties because the other Arsenal players, some of them don't know how to take penalties.
They were
So you
afraid.
can't blame him for taking penalties. You're
And
not saying, oh, it's not penalties.
only 2. One thing, he had 19 goal contributions. He played every single match.
Saka has 7 goals, right? 7 assists, sorry. 7 assists, right?
8, 11 plus 8.
7, bro. I'm looking at this official.
Was it 7? Oh, they said 8. They said 9. Okay.
That's fine.
Maybe they're not added to their zone.
People, I'm hearing people like dismiss the team like it's so far, but then I look at the team like
No.
like this, like
He didn't play many games now. For them.
Saka
I mean,
assisted
he didn't
today.
play all the games. He didn't play all the games.
who's that?
Like, that's what I mean.
Foden.
Yeah, but Saka assisted today, so maybe they're not updated that to their zone.
One thing I'd say though,
Does that put his
is
favor?
for Foden's
He
case.
play most games.
For Foden's case.
No. I mean, he wasn't the most influential young player. When I mean he didn't play the most games, he wasn't the most influential player in the City team compared to what Saka. Saka is basically carrying the Arsenal team.
No. I disagree.
Play at the highest level, Champions League, Champions League final, highest level.
But you're talking about league now. Should we are the one that say we are talking about
It
league?
doesn't even matter.
Like for league titles, like scoring goals, clutch goal, than going for top 4. Which one?
Clutch goal.
Pressure.
What was the last
Ayo.
important goal for them?
Ayo,
I can't remember the
said-
last important goal.
I
for
like
them.
he said last season.
Sorry, against Liverpool.
Scored now.
When
Foden
in the
No,
first match in November. In November
No, what
last
I'm
year.
saying-
against
No,
the
no.
entire season, no.
No.
No, I
Hey,
said what was
guys,
the last important goal he scored?
well,
That's
I'm
what I
missing the
mean.
point.
It was so far in November.
Okay, no.
I'm not even
That's what I
being
mean.
biased. Like, we're missing the point. They had like 7 nominees for young player of the season. I will choose every single one before Foden this season. I'm not saying he's not a better player than those players. I'm saying
I won't
this-
go that far. I won't go that far.
Okay, no. Okay, who were the nominees? I think it was Declan Rice, Ward-Prowse, Saka. I think Bowen. I'm sure. I mean, it's not the kind of players that were nominating them. So I mean,
If Bowen,
all those.
if Bowen is there, then I'm not sure Bowen is under 23 years old.
Yeah, so
I'm not
maybe
sure.
maybe it's in the senior one, but I'm not the kind of players that were nominating. Saka, Trent, Maybe
No, they can't give Trent again. Trent, they
I'm
shouldn't
not
even
saying,
be
but
putting
all the
Trent
players are
again.
on the list, right? All the players on the
Yeah.
list. So all those players, I will choose every single one before I choose Phil Foden this season. He didn't do anything this season.
So it's,
He did not do anything this season.
Gallagher, Mitchell,
Oh.
Mr. Mount, Ramsdale, Declan Rice, and Bukayo Saka.
All of them are choose before Phil Foden.
Ah, come on. Even for me, that's too far.
No, okay. No. Ayo, let's calm down. Let's calm down.
That's too far.
Ramsdale, to me, top 3 players this season. Top 3 goalkeepers this season.
Sure.
Ramsdale, let's do that. Saka, for me, better than Phil Foden this season, for sure. Who's against the list?
Gallagher.
I mean, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but that guy has balled out himself this season.
Crystal Palace, Gallagher, okay.
Yeah, he played very well this season. I mean,
Mitchell, above Foden.
no, Mitchell is the only one that can say, okay.
Mount, above Foden.
Mount. No, Mount is not exciting, but he's efficient. He's efficient. So
let's not spend more time on it. So you've gone with Saka, that's okay.
Sorry.
Who's yours? Young player of the year.
Oh, young player of the year, Declan Rice. Maybe Rice was there, Nabi.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, Declan Rice for me. I mean, the next move, I think, if he's going to United or anybody buying him is buying him for over 100 million because the guy is worth it. He's worth every penny. He's worth every penny.
Stay where he is. We can't afford him.
You can't afford him.
No, we can't afford him. Just stay where he is. We don't want.
Seriously.
We can't afford 150 million for one player. No, we don't have that kind of money.
150. I know it's 100.
100 million.
No, we can't afford 100 million. You should stay where it is. We're okay, we'll go and buy it. Eventually,
we'll go and get what's his name, Boubacar Kamara. Free.
We don't want those kind of signings anymore.
Free.
Wow.
From Marseille, his contract expires.
I really rate Rice though. I rate him very highly.
We don't have money to away.
He's a complete player, Rice. There's no doubt about it.
Buy him 100 million.
If you buy him, your midfield is sorted for the next 10 years.
But we can't afford him now. We can't afford him.
I say we can't afford him.
No, why you can't afford him? There's magic. I can't talk like that.
You can afford him. Pogba is going now. Pogba is gone. Matic is gone.
It's a big hole.
Mata is gone.
Pogba, Mata. I can't even afford him.
100 million.
Don't mind him. They're joking. What do you mean? They'll buy him. They'll buy him.
We're not doing that anymore. Daniel.
No, they won't buy him. They'll go and buy. They'll go and buy one of these British strikers for 80 million.
No,
maybe, mine not to waste money.
We're not doing that anymore. This is a new done.
10.
This is a new done.
899 hack 10 hack. I say I go with Deck.
Yeah, I had Deck too. I think Deck has been exceptional. Saka has done well. I can see why people give Saka. He has done very well.
So you're going for Deck, are you? But you're arguing for Foden now.
No, I was just the reason I was arguing for Foden is I have seen people, Arsenal fans specifically, make it look like the distance performance-wise between Saka and Foden is like night and day. I'm like, are you guys watching the same thing what we're watching? It's just that's why I just don't understand. When I just make all these comments, I'm like,
okay.
This idea that carrying a team going for top 4, I don't believe that's more pressure than playing at the highest level. That's just my opinion. I've seen.
Yeah, but that's fine. But don't forget that I can guarantee you
consistently playing well.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you, anybody playing in Man City.
I don't agree with that.
No. Let me finish my statement. Now. Let's finish statement. What am I saying?
Okay, say it. Okay.
Anybody playing in Man City moves to another club who score less goals. Just take it from me. They create too many chances in Man City.
Goals, performance-wise, just performance.
No, I'm just saying that. So because of the people say, "Oh, Foden has 7 goals," I'm like, Bukayo Saka has like 1/4 of Arsenal's goals. So it's not just as if just like he's going goals to win games.
But you know what? When you flip that now, what you're using your logic.
Okay.
Essentially mean if Saka gets to that level, he pushes that level, Man City is going to play scoring this goal or play at this same level. That's what people always forget.
If Saka goes to Man City,
a performance in Arsenal against where mostly Arsenal has played just in the league this season, right? Like in Europa, enjoying you guys Europa run, that's a lower level. Saka was poor. Let's be very honest.
Saka was 17 or 15 then or something.
Yeah.
You know that. Saka is 19 or 20. 20 there is 20. Don't even 21. It's still 20.
Okay, Foden is 21. I'll be 20. Just 1
If
year.
Saka goes to Man City, he will score more goals.
Sure.
Why?
Sure.
Don't forget, you guys said it now that Arsenal's play is so labor, they can't create chances, and yet he still scored all these goals.
Saka doesn't have
That's exactly where they're creating chances for fun.
Saka doesn't have the same level of technical ability as Foden. Let's stop this. Let's stop
Ah.
this. It's not the same. It's night and day.
Okay.
You guys watch the games like
Give me a clip like my grandmother. Ah.
come on now. Come on.
Okay.
We watch football now. Let's be serious.
Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
Let's be serious, yeah. Let's be serious. Come on. Saka is a good player. He's done well. He plays well for England this far. He did very well for Arsenal, but technical ability is not the same. Let's be serious.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
You know it's not the same.
I don't know, but I don't want to drag this any further.
Saka is better technically than Foden.
Saka is a better player than Foden. I'm not saying this is. I'm saying Brennan is a better player. That's my opinion.
Again, I'm not having discussion again. All right.
So that's why I don't want to continue. Yeah, Saka is better than Foden. I'm not even saying this season. No. I'm just saying Saka is better than Foden.
Foden scored, right, in Anfield. You remember that goal last season? Saka in his life can never score that kind of goal. You remember that goal?
Come on.
Do you know how many goals Saka has scored?
That kind of goal. He has never showed us he can score.
Do you know how many goals Saka has scored?
Can he score that type of goal? I'm not talking of goals. That type. You remember that goal?
I can't remember the goal.
Oh, go and watch the highlight again. Go and watch that.
No, but Saka has scored various kinds. Saka has created kinds of goals that. I mean, against Chelsea, there was one goal he scored with his right foot. It was last season that was out of this world.
I just got to go like that. He has never.
I can't even remember the goal. I'm not trying to say that. Like I said,
gas Saka too much, in my opinion. They do because of this star boy nonsense comparison. They like to
After fans will hype their players. That's just normal. But what I'm saying is, if you tell me now, if you ask me now,
off your chest. Ayo, tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how you really feel.
think of your mind. Think of your mind. What I'm saying is, if you come to me now, you tell me, oh, Saka is better than Son. I'll be like, no. I feel better, but it's not better. It's not better right now. Maybe in 5 years' time it can be better, or 2 years' time. But as of right now, Saka is better than Foden. Take it from me.
Okay.
Just. I'm not saying whether it's because Saka was technical and has all the fancy moves.
Champions League games.
But it's better than their goals. Martial can score that Saka cannot score. Doesn't mean that Martial better than Saka. It doesn't mean anything. Just
watching Champions League games against Atletico, against PSG, Saka at the highest he has played.
no. What I'm saying is no. You said he scored one fabulous goal. Their goals Anthony Martial will score that probably Saka will not score, will never score. But Saka now doesn't mean anything.
He's not played at the same level though. That's the thing. It's night and day. Not played at the same level.
Okay.
Nah, it's true. It's just not.
I'm basing it off Premier League performance for the season.
Okay.
Saka did not play Europe. He only played Premier League. So I'm basing it off that.
When he played Europe, I mean, we didn't see anything.
Yeah, but then it was 18 or 19 now. It's growing every season now. It's getting better every season.
Watch out for Europa next season. I'll remind you.
Next season he'll carry the cup.
We'll have this discussion now.
He'll carry the cup next season.
What cup? Ovi, what cup?
Europa Cup now.
When?
Next season.
Okay, that's okay. I've got to the end of the show. I think we have some
Kudos and donkey.
Foden performed. Oh well, okay, we can do that too. Foden performed in the first 9 position this season. Yeah, that's true. Osaka bench Mahrez at City.
Definitely.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on. Obi, oh yeah, you have lost me now. I was supporting you before now. You have lost me.
Come on.
Okay, no. Okay. So
okay, let's move on.
Yeah, Obi, use your kudos and donkey quickly. For the
entire season?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Let's do season. Kudos and donkey of the season.
That will plenty.
I think kudos has to be, I would say, Klopp, just for being able to manage the squad properly to fight in all competitions. For Donkey, you have to go with someone. I have many candidates, but I'll go with the man you guy, Greenwood. I used to love him as a football player, but I mean, unfortunately, we might not see him again.
We call him the man that shall not be named. That's what we call him.
Okay.
We don't call his name anymore. Man that shall not be named.
So yeah, that's it pretty much.
Daniel, kudos, Donkey.
Kudos. Let me start with Donkey. Just the entire United organization as an institution.
Yep, I agree.
Just messed it up bigly this season. Kudos. Surprisingly, I mean, this guy did a shit job on the pitch, but kudos to Ralph Ragnick for, those interviews. I mean, like I said, definitely didn't show anything on the field, but it's as a fan who watches this club, who's watched this club become shit, like it's refreshing to see like an outsider come in and actually just like tell it as it is. And I'm hoping that can translate, moving forward, with bringing someone who's very blunt, very unapologetic in what he does, and no more. Just it gives me the semblance of the feeling that the sugarcoating era of things is it's over. Like we're gonna address stuff as they come. So yeah, that's kudos for me. Our pressers, not obviously not from the performance standpoint. Yeah.
Hola.
Kudos to the Premier League itself. I'm not one of those. The league I watch is the best league ever. I don't get caught up in all this. My league is better than your league nonsense. But the drama of this season, I think it's one of the best seasons ever. Like everything basically went to the final day. So fair play. Even the golden boots went to the final day. Even the assist rates went to the final day. Relegation final spot went to the final day. So this season and the way it ended also. So this Premier League, kudos for the way it panned out this season, even considering all the pandemic and the postponements and everything. So the league itself, kudos to them. Donkey, the VAR officials of the Premier League, because the World Cup list was drawn up and they didn't take anybody from the Premier League for the VAR officials. Yeah, they took two referees. They took two referees, but no VARs. So they're not taking. That shows you how bad they've been operating the VAR, because even the World Cup is like, we're not taking any of you guys. You're so bad.
Yeah.
So they're the donkeys of the season, basically, because that shows you how badly they've done this season, that they're not even going to the World Cup.
Okay. Dio said kudos for the week. Frankfurt for winning the Europa. And Kostic was about to be sold, but for an email error, became the Europa League player of the season. That's a good one. Dio. Second one says, donkey of the week, La Liga president Tebas for taking PSG to daring to hold on to Mbappe. My donkey of the season, just like echoing Dana, I'll just point to that, to these people.
Yeah, these guys
right there. Are those people right there? That's our good patch. The last time I won the Premier League. It's right there. This donkey of this is Manchester United Football Institution. Big donkeys. And we'll go into that when we do our review in a couple of weeks. Kudos for me. Left field just happened today. I know we didn't mention it. AC Milan. It's been what? 11 years drought. Finally winning the Italian league after I have a lot of die-hard long-term AC Milan fans who have been texting me going crazy all day about it. Because I had a bet we won, a silent bet that United win the league. I think I had a bet like 7 years ago. The United will win before AC Milan. He's been in my head all day.
And they did it with youngsters too.
Yeah, they did. So shout out to AC Milan for winning the Italian league. And Pioli, they stuck with him. If anybody remember the history, when they signed him 3 years ago, had a bad start. They were going to fire him. They were this close to fire him. Then his results picked up in December. And they were going to get Ragnick. I don't know if you remember that. They were about to get Ragnick. In fact, they got Ragnick.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Ragnick to come and be director of football and coach. But what happened is when I think who blocked the deal was Maldini. The owner that came already had Ragnick. They were going to make him director of football. Then end of season sack Pioli and make him coach. But when they signed the deal with Ragnick, they saw that results had improved. They wanted to bring him in to come. Maldini, I think, had a conversation and I said, nah, they should stick with Pioli. And they stuck with Pioli, and here we are 2 years later, or 2 seasons later, champions. So kudos to them. That's clutch executive decision making. Even though I think they did some, I think they need to investigate that.
I understand what you mean, Ayo.
That Inter match where keeper decided to play.
I understand you.
We need to do investigation because them man in Italy. That's all I'll say. Allegedly, we did some investigation.
Allegedly.
someone playing his own net, the Inter Milan sub goalkeeper. Then there's deep investigation into that. Because without that,
I agree.
But, that's where we end. This was a long one. Expected since the end of season pod. We'll have reviews next week. Take a break, just like enjoy Champions League, whatever. We'll come back in 2 weeks. Thanks everyone for joining. Ola, thank you for coming on. Ovid, my guy. You know, it was in our hand FC. No more.
Try again next year.
We go again. Daniel, we continue our group therapy. We go again.
Yeah.
And everyone,
please support us in the final.
Champions League final.
Support us.
Yeah, I will do no such thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care about British pride or like I'm not British.
I don't care about
I
anybody.
wasn't born in England.
I don't care.
No, yeah.
With all of that, Madrid.
I never support any English team apart from Arsenal in Europe. It's not
To me, it
possible.
makes no
Beef.
sense. Like, why would
I'm so disappointed in all of you. I'm so disappointed.
No.
Pep said
I hope Real
everybody
Madrid
support
can
us.
win. I hope Real Madrid can win the next 10 Champions League.
For everyone, we are out. It was a good show.
See you. Bye.